be aware. Good morning, Woodland Pond. It's Deborah. The disembodied voice always gets me. Anyway, good morning. We're about to do some yoga together. So I want you to remember one important cautionary note. Everything I say is a suggestion. It's not a demand. So if I suggest anything that's inappropriate for your body because you have injuries, surgeries, arthritis, or you're just tired, skip it. Take a nice little rest. Rejoin us when you're ready. Alrighty, so we're going to get into our starting position. You can sit on the floor. You can sit in a chair. You can stand up. If you're sitting in a chair, move your butt forward so that you're not leaning against the back of the chair. Put your feet on the floor, hip width apart, so that they look like the number 11. In other words, they're parallel. If you're sitting on the floor, it's lotus, half lotus, cross-legged, whatever works. Now, let's all roll our pelvis forward so we come up onto our sits bone, and then we can pull our abs in and up as we lift our breastbone and ask our shoulders to go back and down. Then lift the back of your head. This is our excellent starting position. Let's close our eyes for a few seconds and take inventory. How are we doing today? How's our breathing? How are our kidneys? How's our mood? Then opening our eyes, we can extend our arms, palms up, inhale up. And then 2 fountain breaths. Good, excellent, all righty. So let's say good morning to our shoulders. Take one of your arms and make the largest forward circle you're capable of making, and then reverse it. Notice if you have any flat spots to your circle. These do develop with age sometimes. Good. Release it, and we'll say good morning to the other shoulder. This is the largest circle you're capable of, and then we're going backwards. Good. Release that. Let everything go. Take a nice deep breath. Let's sit up nice and straight. Turn and look over your right shoulder. Come back to center, look over your left shoulder, and come back to center. Let's do a few cat and cow stretches. So your head comes forward as you exhale, your belly is going backwards. As you begin to inhale, lift your breastbone, look up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And just keep on doing this at your own pace, whatever that might be. And when you're done, come back to center and let's stir the pot. Just pretend that your spine is a nice wooden spoon. The bowl is your pelvis. And you're stirring up a nice batch of pancakes. And then go backwards. Good. Come back to center. And let's put our hands in the pulling position. So you make your hands into little hooks. Then bring your elbows up, put your hooks together, or you can take hold of your opposing wrist, either one, and pull really vigorously, but breathing. Good, release that. Now we're going to go into the pushing position. You can put your palms together in prayer position, but if you have wrist issues, you might prefer to put your knuckles together and then push equally vigorously. We're activating the companion muscles to the ones we just worked. Good. Release that. We'll go back to the pulling position and pull. Really put your back into it. Good. Release that. And then last time, we're going back to the pushing position and push. And release it. Give everything a little wiggle. Take a nice deep breath as we release that effort. Good. Okay. So let's do a lion breath. You're all at home so that there's no one for you to breathe on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a big inhale, and then we're going to let it out with a roar that comes right from the gut. And we're going to open up everything on our face, our eyes, our mouth, our nose, everything opens wide, our tongue comes out, and we're ferocious. At the end of that, we will then inhale and we'll squeeze all of the muscles of our face into the middle, and then roar out one more time and then squeeze in. So take a deep breath. Bah! Ah! Good. Let's follow that up with some exaggerated chewing. Get everything in your face going. Up, out, down. Chew on the left. Chew on the right. Make your chin go in a circle. Go backward. Open wide. Pucker up. Look up. Bring your lower lip over your upper lip. I always think of that as pouting at the ceiling. Then come back to center, relax your face, and just feel it. Notice how very stimulated it feels. Good. All righty. So let's do some side stretching. Put your left hand on the floor or your chair, stretch up really tall on the right, lean into your left hand, reach to the left, but look at the wall, not the floor, as you feel all the little muscles up and down your right side open. Good. Come back to center. Right arm down, left arm stretching up tall. Lean into your right hand, reach to the right, and once again, look at the wall. Good. Come back to center. Left arm down, right arm stretching up, leaning into your left arm as you reach to the left and breathing. Good. Come back to center. Right arm down, left arm reaching up and to the right. Good. Come back to center. Give everything a good loosening up. Take a deep breath and let that effort go. Good. All righty. So let's see. Let's pick a few apples. Reach up high, grab an apple, bring it down. Reach up with the other arm. Keep reaching. Don't overlook the fact that the apples at the very top of the tree are the best apples. So you really want to get there. Don't slouch. Don't cut corners. Good. Okay. Give everything a little wiggle. Now bring your right arm up, bend your elbow and let your hand rest on your back. Bring your other hand up, push your right elbow toward the ceiling any amount, whatever it is. Good. Bring that arm down. Good. Bring your left arm up, bend your elbow, push that elbow toward the ceiling with your other hand. Let the stretch happen. Good. And let it come down. Loosen it up. Take a breath. Because we're about to do the seated spinal twist, one of my faves. All righty. So if you're sitting in a chair, there's nothing you have to do to prepare. If you're sitting on the floor, you need to stretch your legs out. If you're on the floor, it's right leg over left, left arm to right knee. Everybody sit up straight and tall. Pivot to your right. Keep your breastbone lifted. Your abs are engaged because they're very busy holding in your viscera and supporting your lower spine. We applaud that. It's very important. If we want to avoid lower back pain, we need good, strong abs. When you're ready, let's twist back a little bit deeper and release it. Give everything a loosening wiggle. If you're on the floor, it's now left leg over right, right arm to left knee. Everybody sit up straight and pivot left. Once again, keep that breastbone lifted, those abs engaged, and breathing. We have a new exhibit here in the pack. You should come down here and take a look. It's lovely. When you're ready, let's twist back a little bit deeper and release it. Good. All right. So let that all go because it's time for the frog. And today I'm going to do it from a standing posture. You can do it sitting on the floor. You can do it sitting in a chair. You can do it standing up. So if you're sitting in a chair, move your butt forward so that you're sitting on the front edge of the chair. Separate your knees wide apart and simply rest your hands on your knees. If you're going to do it on standing, you need to be up on your mat. You have to make sure both feet are on the sticky mat, unless you're wearing shoes. Now, keep your head and chest up and simply lean forward. We want to keep our head and chest up because we want all the stretch to come out of your hip joints. When your hips say, whoa, I don't want to go there, simply stop and be patient. Breathe encouragement into your joints. Let them know that everything is okay. If you're able to put your palms on the floor, go ahead and release your neck. Now, if you want to really take this to the next level, walk your hands backwards so that they're in between your feet. And keep breathing. If you're unable to get your palms onto the floor, you're much safer keeping your hands on your knees, breathing encouragement into your hip joints, letting them know that it's okay to stretch. When you're ready to come out of it, just pick up your head and chest first so that you come up with a nice flat back, which provides less of a strain on your spine. Give everything a good loosening wiggle, take a deep breath, and let's stand up. As usual, we're going to start in Tadasana. This is the posture that really helps us understand what it means to stand up properly. So put your feet hip width apart. Don't forget the fist trick. And just wobble back and forth a little bit so that you can feel the flesh of the bottom of your foot interacting with the floor. You really want to be able to feel that. Now come back to center and make sure that your weight is evenly distributed across the bottom of your foot. Now that you know what it feels like. Okay, pull yourself up through your legs. Tuck your pelvis if you want to. Ask your abs to come in and up as you lift your breastbone. Ask your shoulders to roll back and down, and then lift the back of your head. Here we are, the mountain posture. Breathe into it. Give your body a good feeding and cleansing with each breath. because here we are successfully defying gravity. Let's bring our arms out, interlace your fingers, notice which one's on top, reverse, stretch, bring your hands behind your back, interlace, and lift into chest expansion. Breathe into it. Feel those pectoral muscles as they begin to open up. Good, release it. Come back out here. This time, make sure the interlace provides the other finger the keynote position. And lift. Good. Release that. Release your legs. Take a deep breath. Good. Now, I think we're on Warrior One today for our strength pose. So we want our chair to be on our left. We're going to be stepping forward with our left foot. I want you to keep in mind, though, that we have a left lane and a right lane on our mat. We want to keep the left foot in the left lane, the right foot in the right lane, because if you line them up, balance is way more difficult. So you want to keep them separate, left and right. Step forward with your left foot as much as you'd like to, and line up your left knee over your left ankle. Now, put your hands on your hips. You'll see that your hips are facing over there, not there, not there. Let's bring them around so that your hips are facing exactly the same direction as your left toes. Stack your shoulders above your hips, engage your abs, and now you can decide where you'd like to put your arms. You can leave them on your hips. You can put them in prayer position. You can bring them out into goddess arms, yoga mudra arms, or palms facing. Choose the one that pleases you best and breathe. While you're standing here, see if you can roll your shoulders down a little bit. Most of us, when we raise our arms, raise our shoulders. So you actually have to stop and think about what your shoulders are doing whenever you do an arm raised posture. If your arms are beginning to droop, you're better off shifting to an arms down position. Either one of these will be much more comfortable for you. And when you're ready to come out of it, bring your arms down, step forward, and shake out your legs. Give everything a loosening wiggle. Take a breath. Good. Okay, we're going to do it on the other side, of course. So rearrange yourself so that your chair is on your right. Step forward with your right leg. So make sure, though, that they're in their own lanes. Right knee is bent over right ankle. And now make sure your hips are facing the same direction as your right toes. Engage your abs, roll your shoulders down, and decide where you'd like to put your arms. And breathe. Feel the power of your legs. If you have them nicely separated into their given lanes, this posture is easier and less challenging for your balance, but it does require balance. So if you focus your attention on your ankles, you'll find that they're constantly making little adjustments. You can stay as long as you like, but if you're ready to come out of it, simply bring your arms down and step forward. Shake out your legs. Take a deep breath. Okay, good. Let's do an inversion. So have to get my furniture out of the way. I'm going to put my feet back into Tadasana, hip width apart, and we're going down with a nice flat back. Inhale up, exhaling, exhaling, shift forward, and then relax your back and just hang. Nowhere is it written that you have to touch the floor. Don't worry about that. Breathe encouragement into all the stretching muscles. Give them the time and the patience they need to open. Twist to the right and take hold of whatever part of your body you find there. Keep breathing, but just notice how the stretch has changed. Feels quite different over here. Come back to center, twist to the left, and once again, grab onto whatever you find. Come back to center, put your hands on your thighs, come up to a flat back, and stand up. Give everything a loosening wiggle. Shake out your legs, take a deep breath. All righty, good. All right, so let's get our chair back here. And just sit on the front edge of your chair. If you sit deeply into the chair, you won't like it at all. If you want a major challenge, keep your feet together. It's a lot easier though, the wider you separate your feet. Also, if you want a little easier, pull your feet back a little bit. Cross your arms and stand up and sit down and stand up and sit down. And we're just going back and forth at your own pace. Our goal is to be able to do this comfortably many times without using our arms to push off with. However, if you need your arms to push off, do that. It's better to be able to do this, even using a little help from your arms, than to not do it. Hopefully, if we keep doing it long enough, we'll strengthen our legs to the point where we won't need to use our arms anymore. And then just sit, slouch, relax against the back of the chair, take a deep breath, and let that work and effort go because it's over. And one of the things we really want to teach our bodies is how to let go of work when the work stops. All righty, good. So let's see, let's stand up. It was extremely icy in the parking lot today, so let's work on our side stabilizers. So put your left hand on your chair, stand on your left leg, pick up your right leg, cross it in front of your left leg, out to the right, behind your left leg, out to the right, in front. When your leg gets out here to the right, make sure that those toes don't wig out to the right. We want them pointing in the same direction that you're looking. And that's very important because if you allow the toes to wig out, you won't be exercising the correct muscle. And we want this muscle to be strong and vigorous. And then put your foot down, shake out your standing leg, take a deep breath, and then rearrange things so that you can put your right hand on the chair, Pick up your left leg, cross it in front of your right leg, send it out to the side, behind your right leg, out to the side. Once again, what your left toes are doing is of vital importance. You want your left toes pointing forward, never out to the side. If this concept works for you, think of leading with your heel rather than with your toe. And of course, if that image doesn't work for you, skip it. Good. Put that foot on the ground, shake out your standing leg. The other one, take a deep breath. Good. All right, so put your feet where you comfortably want them and push your pelvis forward for 12, to the right for 3, back for 6, to the left for 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9. Connect the dots and smooth out a circle. Now, if you want to do a little bitty circle, you can. If you want to do a medium-sized circle, you can. If you want to do a really big circle, bend your knees more. And then come back to center. And this time it'll be 12, 9, 6, 3, 12, 9, 6, 3, 12, 9, 6, 3. And again, we just smooth it out into a nice circle. And once again, you can do whatever size circle pleases you at the moment. You can do all 3 of them. Great. Okay. Now, let's sit down in our chair again. And we're going to give ourselves a foot massage. So take off your shoes and socks if you're wearing shoes and socks. Pick up your right foot, put it on your left knee, and then use your fingers to squeeze the flesh at the bottom of your foot. Even if you don't have much flesh down there, squeeze it anyway. Whatever little flesh is down here under the bones, we want to press it, release it, press it, and release it. If your fingers get tight, just use your knuckles and press with your knuckles. Wiggle your knuckles across the bottom of your foot, and they will job for you. They need a little love too. Squeeze and release each of your toes several times. Squeeze flesh, either by exercising it or by actually squeezing it. Blood, the interstitial fluid. And time we squeeze it out and stop squeezing, more fluid back in than what we actually squeezed out. This is a very fine thing to do. It really promotes total health. Stop doing it. Put your foot on the floor and compare the way your 2 feet feel. You should feel a pretty drastic difference between the way the 2 feet feel, which is our goal. Good. Now pick up your left one, put it on your right knee, and go after the bottom of your left foot exactly the same way you went after the bottom of your right foot. Again, squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing. If you have ever experienced reflexology by a good practitioner, you are truly blessed. I once had a reflexology treatment by the person who taught everybody at Elizabeth Arden's Red Door how to do it. Oh my stars, it was fantastic. I recommend it highly. If you get a chance, go for it. Don't forget, if your fingers get tired, just go after that with your knuckles. They'll do just a fine job. And don't overlook each toe. All the little piggies get to go to market and they get to have a massage. Good. All righty, let's release that foot down to the floor. That's how you give your feet a little love and improvement. And that's the end of the first half hour. We're about to get down on our hands and knees. So I realize that most of you won't want to do that. And I wish you a great, what is this? Monday? This is Monday. I wish you a great week. Beware of the cold and the ice. Namaste. All right, floor yogis. So let's see, where do we want to start today? Let's start in tabletop. So we want our hands to be underneath our shoulders and we want our knees underneath our hips. Make sure though that your elbows are straight and that you're not hanging from your shoulders. You have to actually push the floor away with some intention in order to get tabletop right. And then we'll do a few cat and cow stretches, head down, belly up, belly down, head up. And going back and forth at your own pace, coordinating your breathing with the motion. And then come back to neutral. Stretch your right arm straight out in front of you at shoulder height. Bring it back down. Stretch your left arm straight out in front of you, shoulder height, and down. Going in a circle, stretch your left leg straight out behind you at hip height, and down. Right leg out. Keep your elbows straight, and down. Okay, so now we're going to do the cross-body crunches. This requires a lot of balance. It's going to be right arm, left leg, stretch out, elbow to knee, stretch out and down. Left arm, right leg, stretch out, elbow to knee, stretch out and down. When you're supporting yourself with your arm, make sure that elbow is straight. Good. Well, we're in the perfect position for a downward facing dog, so let's do it. Curl your toes under, lift your pelvis. You might want to step back a couple of paces and then push your shoulders as close to your knees as you can get them. Release your neck so the top of your head is pointing at the floor and you're looking at your feet. And breathe. Stay as long as you like. When you're ready, touch your knees to the floor, big toes together, knees apart, forehead on the floor. Unless, of course, you have knee issues or sinus issues. If that's the case, your best bet is to roll over onto your back, pull your knees up onto your chest, and give them a hug. As you get into your resting posture, take a couple of nice deep breaths, let that work and effort go, and just open yourself up to the entire concept of rest. Now, one of the problems that we have as Westerners is that we're anticipating the fact that we're about to get up and do something else. And you can use that anticipation to successfully thwart rest, because you are anticipating what is about to happen. That is not living in the moment. That's living in the future. So it's important to let go and be in the present. All right, so let's come up onto our knees. Our knees should be about hip width apart. Curl your toes under. We're about to do the half camel. So take your right arm, fish around behind yourself until you find your right heel. Rest your hand on your right heel. Look up at the ceiling, raise your left arm and point it at the ceiling. This is the half camel. Now, if you want to do the full camel instead of the half camel, bring your left arm down, fish around, find your left heel with your left hand. So you have both hands on your heels. That's the full camel. If you're doing the half camel, come back to vertical, fish around with your left hand, find your left heel, and look up. This is a gentle back bend. When you've had enough of this, simply return to vertical, untuck your toes, and sit back on your heels. Good. All righty. So sit on your right cheek. I've got my right foot under my left cheek, and it doesn't hurt it because I'm sitting, I've got all of my weight on my right cheek, and then my left foot is over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, again, some core work for these muscles of our core. You can do it with your right hand flat on the mat like this. If you have wrist issues, your wrist won't like that. So in that case, you'll come down onto your elbow. And then take your left hand, sweep it across your body to the right. If you have knee issues, like you've had surgery or you have bad arthritis, you're not going to want to do the next part. So you're just going to do this and just reach. But if you don't have knee issues, as you come across, lift your pelvis up so you're now on your knees, and then come back down. Sweep up and come back down. Sweep up and come back down. One more time. Here we go. Good. Excellent. All righty. So now we're just going to shift around so that all of your weight is on your left cheek, which enables your left foot to comfortably fit under your right cheek. And then your right foot is out here to the side. And once again, either put your left hand flat on the floor or your left elbow, whichever is best. Take your right arm, sweep it across your body to the left, and pick up your pelvis so that you're on your knees. And then again. Last time. Good. All righty, so let's lay down on our back. your knees up onto your chest. Give them a hug. Take a deep breath and let that work and effort go. Good. So now put your hands on the mat. Keeping your knees together, just draw a circle on the ceiling with your knees. Enjoy the lovely massage this gives your lower back. And then go backwards. Good. Put your left foot on the floor. Slide that leg out straight. Interlace your hands either in front of your knee or behind your knee. If you have surgery or anything, you're going to want it probably behind your knee. On the exhale, pull your knee towards your chest. On the inhale, let it rebound, and then go back and forth. This, of course, is the wind relieving posture. Bring your left knee up, transfer your hands to your left knee, put your right foot on the floor, slide your right leg out straight, and continue. Good. All righty. So we're in the perfect position. Put your left foot on the floor. Raise your right straight leg to the ceiling. Point and flex your foot as if you're waving at the ceiling. Draw a circle with just your foot. Keep a nice straight leg. Go backwards. We're strengthening and stretching the tendons, ligaments, and muscles of your ankle. Good. Now, we're going to slowly lower that leg all the way to the floor. Use your abs. When your heel touches the floor, relax your leg, relax your abs, relax your toes. Let your toes roll out. Now, firm up everything and slowly raise your right leg. Good. Repeat that 3 more times. And don't blow through the rest period at the bottom. It's actually one of the most important aspects of what we're doing at the moment. Last time. Okay, when you have finished that sequence, let your right leg drift to the right rather. When it gets as close to the floor as it will, bring it back and repeat that 2 more times. Once again, we're working on those side stabilizers. And then bend that knee. Put your foot on the floor, extend your left leg to the ceiling, point and flex your foot. Draw a circle on the ceiling with that foot. Keep your leg nice and straight. Go backwards. Okay, here we go. Slowly lower that leg all the way to the floor. Relax your leg, relax your abs, let your toes roll out. Then firm up everything and slowly pick it up. And repeat that 3 more times. Last time. By the way, if any of you want a more challenging version of what we're doing, instead of having one foot flat on the floor, you have that non-involved leg stretched out straight. Now, take your left leg to the left. When it gets as low as it's going to go, bring it back and repeat that 2 more times. Good. Bend your left knee, put your foot flat on the floor. And now we're going to put the soles of our feet together and allow our knees to open and spill towards the floor. Again, if you want more challenge, bring your feet closer to your body. If you want less challenge, push them a little farther away. Bring your arms up to the space above your breastbone, interlace your hands, and draw circles on the ceiling. This will give your back a pleasant massage right about in the middle. And you can go backwards, you can do figure eights, you can draw W's, whatever makes you happy. You just want to feel a pleasant massage between your bones and the floor. Meanwhile, your hips are getting a lovely hip opener from the cobbler pose. So now reverse your palms to the ceiling. Let your arms come overhead. You can open them apart. Close your knees together, slide your feet out, and we're ready for our stretch. Release that. Stretch just the right side of your body. Relax just the left. Release it just the right. And back to the left. And release it. Very good. All right. So let's do the happy baby. So bring your right foot up so that you can put your right hand in your right instep. Then pick up your left foot and put your left hand in your left instep. Now, plant your feet on the ceiling as you pull your knees into your armpits. This is happy baby. Breathe into it. This is a very good hip opener. And we've just done the cobbler pose, which is also superb for hip opening. So you should have pretty stimulated hips today. And they should be feeling pretty flexible. What I'm doing right now is I'm gently rolling left and right. As I've said before, this is a pose you can sort of play with. When you've had enough of this, release your feet and allow them to come back down to the floor. Good. All righty. So I was going to do the half pigeon, but I think we've done enough to our hips today. So bring your arms out in the T position. Slide your left leg out straight. Pick up your right knee, roll it across your body to the left, roll your head to the right, and keep your right shoulder on the floor. This is the knee down twist. So we're going to take our right arm in an arc above our head on the carpet or across the ceiling, whichever you prefer, and touch your left palm twice. Now you can settle into the posture, and you probably will be a little bit looser. Breathe into everything that's stretching and see if you can just melt into the floor. When you're ready to come out of it, make sure both hands are on the floor. Roll your head to center, roll onto your back, and get yourself back into good alignment. Straighten out your clothes so you don't have any bumps underneath you. Stretch your right leg out straight. Pick up your left bent knee, roll it across your body to the right. Roll your head to the left. Keep your left shoulder on the floor. Now take your left hand in an arc across the carpet above your head or in an arc across the ceiling to touch your right palm twice. And then settle yourself into the posture, close your eyes, and let go. Breathe into all the parts of you that are stretching. When you're ready to come out of it, make sure both hands are on the floor, straighten out your head, roll onto your back, and get yourself back into good alignment. Put your feet flat on the floor, and then pull them up onto your chest, give them a hug, take a deep breath, and feel your back reorganizing itself into its customary posture. Because now it's time for deep relaxation. So if you have socks, sweaters, blankets, pillows, cushions, hats, whatever you might need to feel warm and comfortable while you're relaxing, this is the time to acquire it, put it on, and make yourself comfortable. Traditionally, the corpse pose is laying on your back with your feet outstretched, but there are variations. You can lay on your side in the fetal posture, or you can try what I'm doing, which is I'm laying on my back with my lower legs completely supported in a chair. This does a couple of things for me. It helps drain excess fluids out of my legs and feet and ankles. It also presses your lower back into the floor. Usually when we lay on the floor, there's a space between our lower back and the floor. This allows you to straighten that out. And yet it's completely comfortable. You're not working at all. Anyway, once you get yourself into your comfortable position, close your eyes, take a couple of nice deep breaths, and let all that work and effort go. We have worked, we have stretched, and now we are resting. This is a good time to compare your body and how it feels with the way it felt at the beginning of the hour. So now it's time to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, or you can take the luxury of practicing yoga in your own home as an opportunity to extend your rest period for another 10 or 15 minutes. After all, you don't have to give up the room. Otherwise, we'll sit up put our hands in prayer position, close our eyes, lower our heads, and give thanks for this day. And raising our heads and opening our eyes, we can look at one another and say, Namaste. Have a good week.